Star Wars Battlefront Classic. An absolute disaster. But then again, what hasn't been a disaster for Star Wars in the last couple of years? Disney has lost billions. Rey, no one likes her, the movies are bad. Surprise, surprise, no one likes the Mary Sue that does everything perfectly in 5 seconds, completely trashes on old characters, and, well, literally has the whole galaxy in front of her feet because it's a cakewalk, because she is the bestest ever and can do absolutely no wrong. Yeah, surprise, surprise, no one likes that. Oh, and also she has a couple of diversity hire co-leads, which don't matter because no one even remembers their names because they're that boring and bad. And the character analysis of them is even, honestly, worse than that. Okay? Believe it or not. Then we have the TV series. You know, strong, independent woman, need no man, does everything yet again perfectly. You know those laser weapon sword things? Lightsabers, I think they were called. Yeah, lightsabers. Yeah, remember those? Yeah, turns out they can't even kill anyone. Yeah, everyone just magically survives multiple stabs. It is what it is. Cut in half, it already cauterized you. What's the problem? You know? It's an absolute shit show, obviously. The games, yeah, there have been a couple of Jedi games that have been good, but the newest one is called Star Wars Outlaws, where the female, I'm getting ahead of myself, where the main character is a strong, independent female protagonist that has a pet like Grogu. Oh yeah, you're gonna love that one, aren't you, you little brainless twat? Yeah, you're gonna. And already in the trailer, she, clobbered 15 men in a row without any problems. Now, I understand making Mary Sue's. It's actually not that hard. But why does every Mary Sue just do the most Mary Sue things in the most unbelievable way that's possible? Dude, if a woman slaps a man like this and it barely touches, I really, really don't think that they should fall over and die. Looking at you, Ahsoka. In any case, this is just one more absolute horrendous failure for the long list of Disney failures. The faster Star Wars dies, the better at this point. So someone can buy it off Disney's corpse and maybe do something good with it.
All of this, falling apart like this, is on you. Wow! We had a good thing, you stupid son of a bitch. We had
another command post for the Republic.
We had everything we needed. It all ran like clockwork. It was perfect. But no, you just had to blow it up. You and your pride and your ego. You just had to be the man. If you'd done your job, known your place, we'd all be fine right now.
What's up, everybody? This is ACT7567 here, and today
I thought I'm watching the ActMams videos, but it's fine.
The Battlefront collection is a catastrophe. How bad is it, ActMan? It's so bad. Modders are posting bug fixes to Reddit with the actual lines of missing code. Hire this guy, Aspire. Hire this.
The hell is on his face?
Guy. What I remember about the release of the Battlefront collection is how broken it was. Also, I'm sorry in advance for this right here.
What do I look like, a fucking botanist?
I'm in the middle of recording a Gears
of
War review, so please just deal with it for this video and that video. The Battlefront collection gives the GTA Trilogy remaster a run for its money in terms of sheer awfulness and disrespect to the source material. Battlefront 1 and 2 were like childhood-defining games for a lot of people. You see all these videos on YouTube from people who played these games back in the day. It's like one of the great equalizers for millennials and people in my generation.
Admittedly, again, if you're a Star Wars fan and you're currently thinking, oh no, how could they do this? Have you been paying attention to life for the past couple of years? I mean, it's not EA, it's not Disney. By the way, I was surprised when people told me, no, EA is actually not responsible for this because the license is for another company. Aspire, if you pronounce it correctly, I think. But yeah, kind of crazy. Money grabs all around. Step in line.
There's a lot of reverence, nostalgia, love, and appreciation for them. And like most people, I was excited at the prospect of being able to watch those wrist rockets, take out that super, and have that happen just like the simulations. Steam already has a version of these two games, but they're more or less ports. And I thought, given the phrase Battlefront Collection, this would be sort of a remaster, retouching. I thought it was cool they were going to put some maps from BF1 into BF2 and let you play heroes versus villains on any of the other maps, not just Mos Eisley. The graphics were going to be polished up a bit. I mean, how hard could it be?
Well, if you're interested in just a couple of easy bucks real fast, then obviously you don't do any of that. Kind of makes sense, doesn't it?
What? Enter password for what?
A scam?
Why is it asking me for a password? I don't fucking know. Can I play the game? You know, I thought this would be a great opportunity for Aspyr, the developers behind this remake, to be able to revive these old games, if for a time, and let people relive the nostalgia with their buddies in a way that was authentic. But it looks like there's been a change of plans. Instead of Battlefront fans being treated to a bit of fan service, this collection is a shameless money-grubbing exploit of said fan base. This is nothing more than a cold-blooded attempt to exploit people's nostalgia, which is the most...
Yeah, like almost everything. It is what it is. Diablo 4 it only exists to exploit the nostalgia of Diablo 2 players. It worked.
Disrespectful thing you could do with a game like this. Pandemic must have been built on an Indian burial ground when they developed these games, because the Battlefront series is cursed. And it continues to be. The third game was canceled twice. The 2015 version had 10% of the content people expected. Battlefront 2 EA Edition had the infamous loot box
Hell yeah,
fiasco.
this was my favorite because this was hilariously bad.
And when the game was really hitting its stride, they cut support to focus on Shitfield 2042. And
Obviously.
now this. Why is it so hard? Honestly, why is Battlefront such an impossible...
It's not the company's fault people have expectations. You should lower your expectations. That's probably unironically what they think, honestly.
Concept to get right. It's a fucking match made in heaven. This is the premier Star Wars first-person shooter series. And we're at a point...
This looks so fucking bad and boring, by the way.
Premier Star Wars first-person shooter series.
Wow.
And we're at a point where they can't even re-release a 20-year-old game without breaking it.
Yo, what's Anakin?
I'm trying.
Him,
I'm trying.
Get him,
I
dog.
can't.
Yo, bro.
Oh no, I got force lagged.
Force lagged.
Force seizure.
No.
Now, just to be clear, I'm talking about the Steam version of this game. So maybe your experience on other platforms has been different, but this has been my experience. For starters, the collection is a whopping 62 gigabyte install.
Oh yeah, I heard about this. From 3 gigabytes to 60 gigabytes or something like that. Nice.
The original two games total just 12 gigabytes on
Oh.
Steam. Obvious question, where the hell did the other 50 gigabytes come from?
Well, if they don't make the game big, then people will assume that the games can be made small. And if they assume that the games can be made small, that will make people look bad when they make the games 500 gigabytes. So it is what it is.
Why don't you force compress this?
My theory, by the way, on this is, what if the games industry is in collusion with the hard drive industry? Yeah? Think about it. No one gives a shit about hard drives. Yeah, that's right. The only people who care about hard drives are the people who use cloud storage, Amazon and whatnot, but no one else does. But what if you needed a separate hard drive for every single game because they're just too big? Yeah. You see the big picture now? It's a conspiracy.
This shit so it doesn't take a meaty chomp out of my hard drive.
Is it possible to learn this power?
No.
Not from Aspyr. Oh, I know where
Also, by Vinrar.
the extra gigabytes came from. The distorted Lego graphics on Hoth. Just like the shitulations. Secondly, the collection is $35, which is more than all 4 Battlefront games combined.
Huh. Yeah, that sounds like Are we sure EA is not behind this? Because this looks very EA.
It's a somewhat reasonable price, I suppose, if it was up to snuff.
How the fuck is it a reasonable price?
But you didn't do anything to make it worth it. Certainly didn't help that the team at
Last Epoch is $35.
Aspyr also used footage from a Battlefront 2 mod in their promotional trailer. They just took some guy's work that they didn't know or...
Well, to be honest, there's a chance that he doesn't actually own the copyright to this work because it's a mod in a game. Maybe. I don't know. I have ever read the terms and conditions of playing this game. Neither have you, so shut up.
Talk to her credit and just put that in their trail. What? There's a mod that converts Ventress to PC. She was a DLC character for the Xbox.
I'm not gonna lie, boys. I kind of like Ventress for strange reasons. I like long necks. I don't know what that is. I like alien species that are Twi'leks or long necks. It is what it is.
PS2 versions. And the guy who made it noticed some subtle details in the lightsaber hilt and realized his work had been taken without credit. This is what Aspyr said. When capturing placeholder footage for our announcement last fall, we mistakenly included content that is not in the product. And that mistake made it into the final cut. Nobody noticed placeholder footage for the trailer you showed during a Nintendo Direct?
Yeah, probably. Wouldn't surprise me at all, in fact, obviously.
Direct? How? What are you, some kind
Easy.
of goddamn moron? It's a 50-second video. Nobody bothered to put a marker in the editing software and say, hey, swap this out.
I didn't even know you can't put markers in an editing software.
It's fucking easy.
What do I look like, a guy who's not lazy?
I mean, this isn't a huge deal, but this kind of screw up illustrates how little effort and consideration was put into the project. I might as well mention that
Bro, you hear about a 20-year-old game collector's edition re-release? I'm sorry, but you need to be really, really fucking stupid to actually think, oh my god, this is not a cash grab. This is probably out of love. Now, you need to be really, really stupid to think it's not a cash grab, okay?
the other DLC character, Kit Fisto, who I was excited to try out, is totally broken, or maybe he's just mastered the force rubber band technique. Look at this garbage. He just glitches all over the place. For reference, this is what the move is supposed to look like. I don't even know if Aspyr knew what game they were even working on.
Doesn't matter. They made money.
with 3 dedicated servers.
Yeah.
3. For a grand total population count of 192. This isn't like Helldivers, where the game exploded in popularity and the developers didn't anticipate over 400,000 people logging in at once. Aspyr didn't even anticipate 200.
You want to explain yourself? What are you doing? Making a mistake.
Well, Aspyr didn't really care that much, as we all already can kind of figure out.
Making a mistake? What is going on in your mind?
Hero Assault was bugged for the light side, which couldn't respawn, meaning that if you got into a match, it was just broken. Sometimes you get into a lobby that never loads.
Nice.
Great. Fantastic.
Nice.
Occasionally when I hop into the dedicated servers, I'm greeted with the message, contacting host.
Nice.
What do you mean contacting host? It's you. This is the dedicated server. If you were unlucky enough to get into a match, the disappointment only got worse. Matches with 64 players had 100 tickets, meaning each player gets 1 to 2 deaths and the game is over. Matches literally lasted 2 minutes. Those 2 minutes were an unplayable lag fest of shitty hit registration, netcode, rubber banding, teleportation, lag. It just, I mean,
what do you mean? This is completely okay.
just look at it. Hit registration is unacceptable. Half of my shots will hit.
By the way, why did the Empire lose? Because they fucking thought that... There you go. They thought that this retarded monstrosity is actually a good solution to anything in a battle. 80s are literally the stupidest thing that you could ever do. There's a reason we don't, in the real world, have anything that moves on legs. Because, surprise, surprise, it's actually really fucking bad. Okay? It is what it is, boys.
Get it. Hit registration is unacceptable. Half of my shots will hit, but do no damage. The other half will hit, but it takes 2 full seconds to register. A lot of times there'd just be 5 guys in a room at point blank range, just unable to kill each other. As the old saying goes,
maybe you're just bad.
Watch those wrist rockets, because if they hit you directly, it's an instant kill. Not in the Battlefront collection. You can just shrug them off without taking damage or even being staggered.
Yeah, that seems right.
Okay, yeah, he just fucking shrugged off a direct rock. You can't even watch those wrist rockets. You can't even watch the wrist.
Watch the wrist rocket.
It's nothing like the simulations. The control is mutilated, dismembered. It is destroyed beyond any comprehension. You know aim assist? Well, the Battlefront collection introduces a brand new feature I like to call aim resist, because your reticle resists enemy players. It just magically avoids the guys you're trying to shoot, like it's magnetically opposed.
Wait, is he playing this on a controller? I mean, if you're playing this on a controller, it's your own fault for being autistic.
I have played a lot.
Some games can be played on controllers, and it's actually better than the mouse and keyboard. But none of those games ever include anything that's a shooter. Surprising, I know.
Out of Battlefront 2. And I know exactly how it's supposed to feel like, even on the original Xbox, which is still clunky, choppy, and aiming's a little slow. But your aim never did this shit. It never did a fucking figure 8. This and the bad hit registration and lag makes the game not worth playing at all. Tried playing as a Droideka, can't roll into a ball.
Nice.
Don't know why. Guess I'll just die. I've heard that Aspire released the wrong version of the game.
It's
and
fine.
then quickly swapped it out, which explains why some of these issues are fixed or slightly better and the game is more stable. But like, how does that happen? A lot of these issues were fixed or improved, but it is still important to take note of them because it shouldn't have been this way at all. It shows you how rushed the game. This is just pure negligence, a complete disregard for any standard of quality. Let's talk about the
Yeah, again, we kind of expected that.
graphics. Now, you can't see it in the footage on screen,
Ooh.
but while playing, I was getting some
That's
of the
nice
most
screen
god-awful
shake.
screen tearing. Oh, that's all right. I'll just turn on VSync and...
What happened?
Nothing?
Where's the fucking game? Well, there's no game here. What happened? Did the programmers pass out?
Game crashes way more often than it should. You try to search for specific game types, it crashes. Now, most of the environments do look a
Nice.
lot better. More detailed and crisp. This is pretty much the only praise you can give the collection. It looks how you think it did back in the day. But even this runs hollow because you can just buy the original Battlefront 2 on Steam and just install a bunch of free mods to make it look better than this shitload of fuck. Oh, but it gets better. It gets better. You see, Aspire also makes...
Yeah, no one's installing mods because it takes effort and time. People are getting even too lazy to fall for a crypto scam because it just takes too much time to register and then click. Dude, scammers, listen. I'm never gonna register for a website. It's just too much effort. I want a one-click solution. I want one click and you get my shit, okay? That's how I want this game to play out. Because anytime you want me to actually do anything with effort, it's just too much. Tell me that I'm gonna go to the moon and there's one click and there you go. It is what it is.
Made the bold creative decision to remove half of the cutscenes from Battlefront 2's campaign. Half of the
Nice.
game's story is just gone. So
The
people playing this
story?
saying, yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with the single player. You're not even getting the full single player. There's supposed to be a cutscene before and after every mission, but none of the post-mission cutscenes play. You're paying $35 for half of the narrative. This is embarrassing.
What kind of a man are you? You're worthless and weak. You
True.
do nothing. You are nothing.
Remember that amazing line after the Felucia mission?
No.
When the 501st was finally rotated out of Felucia, Ayla Secura made a point of seeing us off personally, calling us the bravest soldiers she had ever seen. It's a good thing we were wearing helmets, because none of us could bear to look her in the eye.
Gone. Nope. No context. No transition from mission to mission. This is shovelware. This is a shameless cash grab. And it's like, you only announced this like 3 weeks ago. Why release it like this? What was the rush? You know what it is? It's the end of the first quarter of 2024. That's why release it. At least the Spire bothered to include an epilepsy warning, because every time you die, you are treated to this vision.
Wait, that's not even true. It doesn't matter that it's the end of the first quarter, because the money for, if you release it now, the month. Well, actually, the most sales on in the first days, but that's, you know, still, who gives a shit, huh? So that's kind of interesting. Also, they had more time because, again, the majority of the sales happen in the first week. So yeah, no, so they don't even have that excuse in reality because it's kind of shit.
Visual spectacle. For some reason, they also swapped out iconic sound effects, like when you complete an objective.
Pew pew. Pew, 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 pew.
Or when you load into a match in Battlefront 1. The game audio and sound design is disorienting. Got me feeling like Mr. Krabs at the Pretty Patty stand. Sometimes you hear blaster fire behind you, then you look over there and there's nothing there. Other times it gets real quiet, or the music just cuts out, or you might hear these earth-shattering explosive sounds.
That's pretty good.
What the fuck just happened?
Sensitivity on controller and playing with mouse and keyboard is painfully slow. Increasing it seems to have little or no effect. So just like VSync, you just have to deal with it. There's also no option for inverted controls. This again was a quality.
Hey, the worse the controller is, the better I feel about it for shooting games. If you want to be that guy who wants to play a controller and then complain about that, you're just trash, okay? Stop it, buddy, okay? Stop. You're annoying, you're trash, no one likes you, your family hates you. You should probably check out while you can, okay? Because it's gonna get worse for you. If you're dumb enough to believe that a controller is meant to be played for shooter games, you're just not worth the oxygen that you're breathing, okay? Oh, but controllers aren't that bad. Bruh, every single time that comes out a shooter game, there's a bunch of idiots on consoles complaining about, oh, the aim assist is not good enough. And then there's a bunch of idiots in the comments saying, aim assist doesn't actually do anything. Then why do you not turn it off? Why do you not turn it off then? Why do you constantly complain about aim assist being too weak? Oh, I hate life.
A live feature from the 2005 OG Xbox version. Now, how about some improvements they could have made? You know, stuff that would have really gotten people like me excited. We still have never had, to my knowledge, an official online version of Galactic Conquest. Well, thank goodness we avoided taking advantage of that golden opportunity. Who would have wanted to coordinate massive 64-player lobbies and invite people from their Discord server? You know, maybe YouTubers could fight each other and gather teams of their own fans and fucking fight in a 5-hour-long galactic battle. Who would want to do that? Who would want to do that? No, I would have hosted lobbies like that. I would have streamed it. That would have been awesome. Would have also been nice to have had like Steam Workshop support, or maybe worked with some modders to like add more content to the game, new stuff, new maps, heroes. Split screen only allows 2 people instead of 4. I know split screen ain't as big of a deal these days, but it's like, come on, dude. Like, can you get one thing right? Just one. You're supposed to enhance the game, or at the very least make it feature complete with what it was in 2005. What's the point if you can't even bring features from the original? It's like, the game's almost 20 years old, man. It's not a high standard. Why is there no crossplay? That's a good question. What's wrong with you?
What kind of nonsense is this?
You'd think this would be a great opportunity to let everyone replay these classics and tear down the borders between platform, so we can all relive the nostalgia with our friends. It's too much work, Act Man. They had 3 weeks to make this. They had less time than Redfall. These games mean a lot to me, and buddies I had back in 2005 wanted to play this again. And we're not. We're not playing this again. It's sad.
Oh,
the 20-year-old game is already going to have a small enough player base So instead of one connected large group that can keep the game alive longer, it's segmented, which is going to drastically reduce the lifespan of this game, if it even has one. I really am upset about this because I wanted to stream it and host Galactic Conquest lobbies and just like have a good time again. My nostalgia for these games was just blatantly exploited for a quick buck. Fuck Aspire, fuck this company, the game is dead on arrival. Like, you have to intentionally mess something up this bad. So yeah, I really am quite pissed about this. Battlefront,
I mean, everything went as expected.
Deserves so much better. It really does. It could make so much money, but time and time again,
no, it probably could not.
And this series gets taken out back and shot with a 12 gauge of disappointment. It should be the easiest W and a fat payout for very little work. I honestly didn't.
Well, they did put in zero work and got a pretty decent payout. I think mission completed, mission successful. You did it.
Expect huge sweeping updates or changes to the game, or updates to the jankiness, or even more polish. It would have been nice to have those things, but I never imagined it would be objectively worse. The Battlefront collection, at least on PC, should not
Why are you new to gaming?
be purchased under any circumstances. There is literally zero reason to play this. You can get the original for like $5 and just mod that.
True. The Act Man is right on this one. Anyway, this was Quizzer Sid saying thanks for watching, subscribe if you haven't already, and have a nice day. Bye bye.